Good day, everyone!
I am Crizyl of Dela Victoria.
I am Chekyne Legarde.
I am Zeny S Anciano.
I am Alleya Mae F. Andalahao.
I am Chekailyn C Legarde.
We are the Group 6 and we will be presenting to you our fishbone diagram.
So we have 6 factors that can affect globalization. The first one is cultural factor. So cultural factor can affect globalization by helping people from different countries to connect, communicate, and understand one another. So we have 3 examples of this. The first one is multiculturalism. The second one is music and movies. And the last one is language and learning. So the first example is multicultural. So cultural diversity helps globalization by bringing people from different countries together and allowing them to share their traditions, beliefs, food, and customs. So as people interact with different cultures, they become more open to new ideas and ways of life. This creates better understanding and stronger connections between countries. So the second example is the music and movies. So music and movies help globalization by spreading cultures and ideas from one country to people around the world. Through international movies, songs, and artists, people can learn about different lifestyles, tradition, and values. So this allows cultures to influence each other and creates shared interest among people from different countries. So the last example is language and learning. So language can help globalization because it allows people from different countries to communicate, study, work, and do business with one another. Learning foreign language also helps people understand other cultures and communicate more effectively. As more people learn international language, especially English, it becomes easier for countries to connect and exchange knowledge.
And now, I am going to discuss the 3 examples of social factors. First is we have education, the second one is we have migration, and the third one is we have global communication. First is education. Education contributes to globalization because it allows people from different countries to share knowledge, skills, and ideas. For example, students exchange programs allow students to study in their countries and learn about different cultures and educational systems. Because of this, education helps people understand one another and creates connection between countries. And the second one is we have migration. Migration is the movement of people from one country to another for reasons such as work, education, or better opportunities. For example, Filipino workers migrate to countries like Canada, Japan, and United States to find employment. Through migration, people bring their skills, experiences, languages, and cultures to different parts of the world, making countries more connected. And the last example of social factors is we have global communication. Global communication allows people from different countries to communicate and exchange information quickly. For example, we can use Facebook, Messenger, TikTok, and Zoom to communicate with people from other countries. This makes it easier to share ideas, news, knowledge, and cultures, which strengthens globalization. And now, let's proceed to the economic factors. We have 3 examples. First is we have international trade, e-commerce, and employment opportunities. International trade. International trade is the buying and selling of goods and services between countries. For example, the Philippines exports bananas and other agricultural products to other countries, while it imports products such as cars and electronic equipment. International trade connects the economies of different countries and allow them to exchange products and resources. And the second one is we have e-commerce. E-commerce refers to buying and selling products and services through internet. For example, is we have Lazada, Shopee, and Amazon allow people to buy products and sellers that may be located in different countries. Because of e-commerce, businesses can reach customers beyond their own country, making the global market more connected. And the last one is we have employment opportunities. Globalization creates employment opportunities by allowing people to work for international companies or work in other countries. For example, Filipino workers can work abroad as nurses, teachers, engineers, or other professionals, while others work in BPO companies that serve international customers. These employment opportunities connect workers, companies, and economies across different countries.
Next, we have environmental factors. There are three examples of environmental factors: renewable energy, climate change, and natural disasters. First is renewable energy. Renewable energy comes from natural sources that can be used repeatedly, such as solar energy, wind energy, and hydropower. As countries become more connected through globalization, the demand for energy also increases. This encourages countries to develop, share, and trade renewable energy technologies. For example, countries can import solar panels and wind turbines from other countries. Therefore, renewable energy can encourage international trade, investment, and cooperation. Second is climate change. Climate change can affect the way countries produce and trade goods. For example, extreme heat, droughts, and changes in rainfall can affect agriculture and reduce crop production. When production decreases, a country may need to import products from other countries. This means that climate change can affect the international trade, food supply, and the global economy. Lastly, we have natural disasters. Natural disasters include typhoons, earthquakes, floods, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis. This disaster can damage factories, roads, ports, and other facilities used for production and transportation. For example, if a typhoon damages a factory that supplies products to other countries, production and deliveries may be delayed. This can affect the global supply chain.
Because governmental policies, international organizations, trade agreements, and international relations all have an impact on how nations interact with one another, political factors are crucial to globalization. There are three examples of political factors. First is the international organizations like the WHO or the World Health Organization and the United Nations or the UN. It encourages international cooperation and assists in resolving global issues by lowering trade barriers and facilitating the exchange of goods and services between nations. A specific example is the WHO's response during the COVID-19 pandemic. It provided health guidelines, coordinated international cooperation, and helped countries respond to the spread of the virus. The second example is the Free Trade Organization. It is a group of countries that agree to trade with each other with little to no barriers like taxes or quotas. Its main goal is to make buying and selling goods and services between members cheaper and easier. An example of free trade organization is the WTO or the World Trade Organization, helping countries resolve trade disputes. For instance, when countries disagree about tariffs or trade restrictions, they can use the WTO's dispute settlement system. A specific example is the reduction of tariffs among ASEAN countries. This makes it easier and less expensive for countries such as the Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia to trade goods with one another. The third example is the diplomatic relations or the relationship between nations are another significant political factor. Trade, investment, travel, and collaborations can all be boosted by positive diplomatic ties. For instance, trade, security, and defense cooperations are all part of the relationship between the Philippines and the United States, whereas infrastructures, investments, and economic cooperation are all part of the relationship between the Philippines and Japan. These illustrations demonstrate how political choices can either promote or impede globalization. An example of diplomatic relation is the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or the EDCA between the Philippines and the United States. This agreement strengthens cooperation between the two countries, particularly in defense and security. A second specific example is Japan providing development assistance and infrastructure support to the Philippines. This shows how strong diplomatic relations can lead to economic cooperation and investment.
Last is the technological factors. We have three examples: internet, fast transportation, and digital equipment. First is the internet. The internet allows people and businesses from different countries to communicate and share information quickly. For example, we can communicate with people from other countries through social media or video calls. This affects globalization because it makes communication between countries faster and easier. Next is fast transportation. Modern airplanes, ships, and other transportation allows people and products to move quickly between different countries. For example, products from another country can be shipped to the Philippines. This helps globalization because it makes international trade easier and faster. Last, we have digital equipment. Digital equipment refers to electronic devices that help people communicate, work, and share information, such as smartphones, computers, tablets, and laptops. For example, a Filipino student can use a laptop or smartphone to attend an online class with someone from another country. Businesses can also use computers and smartphones to communicate with international customers. This affects globalization because digital equipment makes it easier for people and businesses in different countries to communicate, work, and share information. Next is fast transportation. Modern airplanes, ships, and other transportation allow people and products to move quickly between countries. For example, products from another country can be shipped to the Philippines. This helps globalization because it makes international trade easier and faster. In simple words, technology makes the world more connected, faster, and easier to communicate, trade, and work with other countries. This is why technology is an important factor in globalization.
And that would be all. Bye!